Alright, I'm gonna move on to the next map. Somewhat interesting seeing Rhine here. I feel like I don't normally see any Rhine first point just because of how passively you have to play. It does give some interesting maneuvering where potentially whenever they move back, they'll be able to have Rhine play near Fountain and then give a lot of shield pressure for Stitch and Twilight to take shots, but you aren't allowed to play as aggressively, so this Pharah could get more value. And again, T1's playing this aggressive triple DPS comp, which will give them a lot of kill pressure if they are able to get on Stitch. So Happy opens, he's just trying to poke a bit. There really isn't any window being opened here. Like, it's been an entire minute of basically just poking. Like, they've gotten the cart basically to the same spot that it will be, because Ryan will be able to just walk up. They'll always be able to have like a member on both sides, so it'll just basically be locked here until they find an opportunity, like each one. And T1 swapped because it was basically just being a giant poke battle, so the Brig wasn't getting much value, and against this team comp it won't do much. So the Zen will offer them more flexibility, but they need to make sure that they keep their Pharah and Mercy safe right here, because the Mercy's about to get ult, and this is their window actually, because they'll be able to get Mercy ult and potentially play very aggressively where they can put like 4 or 5 members in the backline over here of Runaway and really dive someone very aggressively. But they need to make sure that they don't lose anyone here, because Twilight and Stitch can coordinate a kill very easily on the Pharah here if he goes too far out. They're swapping right here, so they're gonna lose their window of having no ults. How does Janu lose his suit? I'm wondering how many people hit him. So Janu's like full. He's getting tagged right now. 1 rocket, 2, 3. He gets hit by the Zen, so Zen's hitting him from main. Pharah and Genji are hitting him from behind. I guess he just doesn't expect that Zen to be hitting him, so that is a bit unfortunate, because that's actually their one counter to the Pharah right now. Stitch channels High Noon to give them a little bit more time, but as far as potentially going to be able to come in here, kill Stitch, kill Bumper. There's not a lot Runaway could have done. Whenever the Pharah and Mercy are rotating is their chance to actually kill one of them. It's Stitch and Twilight coordinating together, like hitting the same target. T1's switching. I'm not entirely sure why they swapped to triple support. I don't think Runaway will have any dive pressure, so this Brig on the cart potentially won't get as much value unless they're looking to have her come high ground and look to knock people off. They are able to nullify Runaway's like nano monkey, but I don't know if that was the biggest issue they were going to have. Because I feel like T1's going to have an issue when Twilight's able to play at a safe enough spot and Stitch is able to open up like this, especially with Hawksaw switching to Sombra. I feel like there won't be enough dive pressure on him, because you'll need to have the Monkey and the Genji sync, and they potentially won't have that, especially in like these situations, and then the Sombra has to be behind him, so
밟았습니다. 잘 올라왔어요.
T1 does have a window now to punish them, but if Twilight's in a good enough position, or if they play to counter it, like Hoxa potentially looking to hack someone before they can go up. They had very good engage on that Mercy there. So Runaway basically did like a good job here of like Monkey is now hit. Mercy's popping Valk. So the Monkey has to pop Primal, and then there's not going to be any Mercy with them to like keep them they're not going to have any sustain for this fight, so it's just going to be Brig and Zen. But the Zen has to start playing safe at this moment. They basically have all the threats wrapped up, and then Runaway is in a position where Twilight, Slime, and Stitch are playing together. And I think it's just Slime and Janu on cart. Yeah, I think Janu actually kites back, so it's Bumper and Hoxa that really do a lot of this damage to the back line. Where they basically didn't trade anything. It was just really smart positioning where they got to nullify the Mercy ult completely and Brig and Primal. So T1 technically has like the triple support that they should be surviving the poke battles, but the Mercy got antied. Runaway had super good focus, so they'll win out that. Now I think Slime wants to play more defensively here and play like really far back with the Zen, but I think the Lucio is actually smarter here. I know you want to be playing longer range, but they have Genji, they have Sombra, so I don't know if this is actually the best pick. Normally, I'm a mega huge proponent for playing Ana and Zen, but in this situation, I think you play Lucio, or even play Brig and just protect the Ana. It can work as a pressure tool, though, so like stop the Sombra in Discord as soon as she shows. Did T1 lose anyone? So it looked like Genji and Monkey were off alone, looking for some flank or something, but they had the team split in such a strange way. I feel like you just rotate together if you have the 3 support core, so your Brig can actually armor pack someone before a fight, and before the dive. They're going to have a tough time sneaking now, because Stitch can pop walls. So Slime and Twilight are going to be able to play very safe here, because Stitch pops walls, there's no flank threat on them anymore. It was very close there for the DPS both dying, but I gotta see exactly where everyone was. The stagger kill on the Mercy is huge. T1 also has the problem of, in these fast reset fights, they do not get much ult charge because they don't really have anyone to heal off of. The problem with having one tank only is basically gets fed to the Zen a lot of times rather than the Mercy, or the Mercy will get it over the Zen. They're getting staggered really hard here. They need a full reset and find a place to rotate together. Like, I'm very positive they need to go to the right, get a full reset, go to the right, and then find the Sombra, loop around the left, so you can put someone behind the Widow. Can't really go to the left because the sightlines are going to be too long. They could go mid too and just try to sit on the cart.
곳이 없어요 지금 통제는 않습니다. 바퀴는 어떻게 되는지 말해주고 있죠.
나노워퍼를 EMP 썼는데 그렇죠. 써야 돼요 이거.
아 이거 사용했죠. 그래서 결단을 내렸고.
예, 진작 썼어야 됐는데.
그래도 이번 한 번은 밀었습니다.
예. 마지막 가야 됩니다. 워퍼.
안에서까지요. 할 수가 없다는 거죠. 이런 대형 사고가
They did have to trade a lot for this to get any space.
EMP를 넣을 곳이 없어요 지금 통제는 않습니다.
So there isn't much commit here from Runaway. It's basically just Bumper drops off the high ground, he gets a nano. He puts a lot of pressure on the backline. They EMP just to stop Bumper from getting enough damage on them. But they lose their monkey, so they lose their only tank and really, basically their only dive pressure. So Stitch is going to be able to like go off pretty aggressively here. So they have to use Blade to kill him. But in the staggered fight, Winston just respawned right now, and Bumper is still using his primal to get a kill.
가야 됩니다. 워퍼.
안에서까지요. 할 수가 없다는 거죠. 이런 대형 사고가 역으로 EMP 있거든요. EMP 들어갔어요.
오,
그래도
이게 초월이 살짝 늦었고 지금 이러면 인원수가 러너웨이가 살짝
Should have been more help for Hacksaw. There was only ever going to be Crystal on the high ground dealing with him.
좋아요.
예. 한번 들어갑니다.
추가 시간에서 밀어내는 힘을 가졌는데 실버들이 원심보다 좀 빨리 빠진 감은 없지 않아 있거든요.
예. 지금 여기서 공을 짜놓고 잘 바뀌었는데 그렇죠. 사실 여기서는 이제 비비려고 쓴 거기 때문에 뭐 죽인다기보다는 T1이 올 수 있는 시간을 벌어준 거고요.
나와의 타이밍 오기 전에 T1w는 밀어낼 필요가 있어 보입니다. 골까지 가지고는 있습니다만은
It's a pretty risky jump here, but I think it'll pay off.
나올 수 있기 때문에 아까
나노
계속
나노
나와야 되고
워퍼 다시 한번 갑니다. 나노 워퍼. 용검 썼어요. 크리스탈.
반응하기 전에 먼저 녹아버렸어요. 용검.
용검 써서 1검 지금 잘 해줬고.
근데 이제 원시분도 있거든요.
예.
더 버틸 수 있거든요. 집결도 옵니다.
직결 왔어요. 겐지 죽으면 큰일 납니다. 한 명씩 죽으면
원시분도
큰일
철거이
나요.
됐고요. 되게 좋은 타이밍 켰고요.
This fight is insanely close.
뒤로 빠지죠. 그렇죠. 3명. 분명히
Runaway should technically be winning regardless of how these trades go because they have such close respawns. That bomb really stopped them. And Happy had swapped to that and came back and gotten his ult in time.
타이밍에 어네피가 정말 잘 찔러 넣었습니다.
사실 러너웨이가 충분히 버틸 수 있는 상황이었는데 와 작곡이 이렇게 들어가면서 쉽게 밀렸습니다 생각보다.
용검 사이클도 지금은 크리스탈 선수가 좋아서
T1 has a pretty unorthodox comp right now though.
보고 있기 때문에 충분히 용검으로 이득 볼 여지도 남아 있고
Runaway should be able to counter him with just this, see they're swapping. But all this time they're not pushing the cart. And they're only going to usually get 1 or 2 pushes here. Given the time bank they have. They won't get Nano Blade in time. Yeah, Runaways has had positional advantage the whole time. They had to clear that better.
이제는 아까에는 시간이 여유가 없거든요.
예. 37초. 한 번 남았어요. 다시 모여가지고 가기까지. 러너웨이 한 번만 잘 막으면 되고 T1w 입장에선 이 남은 시간 최대한 빨리 밀 수 있도록 다시 뭉쳐서 와야겠죠. 지금은 깔끔하게 지금 전략까지 다 수정해서 와야 됩니다.
지원과 궁 사이클이 러너웨이가 훨씬 더 좋은데다가 들어오는 위치를 다 볼 수가 있는 상황이라 이거 오히려 겐지가 용검 뽑는 타이밍에 바로 저격당할 수도 있거든요.
Can trade beat for Blade. They might be able to throw a Diva Bomb and like displace them and then go for a Blade.
예, 지금 용검도 들어갈 때 학살 조심해야 됩니다.
잘 튕겨냈어.
빼기 하지만 수리방병 카운터.
케어가 됐죠.
예.
용검!
영검 하지만 몰라요. 지금 버버 잘렸습니다.
They threw just the Genji Blade and then kind of just focused the Rhine as he was forced to walk in, so they can technically still win. They lost Suit there though, that's really bad.
나오게 만들어놓고 먼저 범퍼 선수 마무리를 했기 때문에 앞으로 쭉 나갈 수 있습니다. 러너웨이 다음 봐야 돼요.
Genji went too far in.
좋아요. 나노 라인. 실버 3.
분쇄 막았고요.
분쇄까지 잘 맞고.
초월 빠졌거든요.
예.
이 상황이 어떻게 정리되는지 분쇄 곧 옵니다. 실버 3.
실버 3 분쇄 타이밍 중요해지고요.
그다음에 러너웨이는 지금 당장에 돌아오는 궁극기가 없기 때문에 이 전선 무조건 유지를 해야 됩니다. 여기 무너지면 비빌 수 있는 게 본인의 몸밖에 없어요.
Runaway's doing super good to keep these targets discorded. The Rhine and the Brig are the most highest priority in the situation. These long staggered fights.
물론 아직은 안 끝났습니다. 리포.
These are honestly really close fights here at the end. And it really comes out to clutch factor and then target prioritization. So like the Rhine and the Brig can end up carrying in these fights where like, there's a lot of trading of swings, but Bumper plays it safe. And you can see the Rhine he has Discord basically on him the whole time. Janu and Bumper are both trading their HP, but they're keeping the Discord on this Rhine here, and so he's not allowed to swing, and he's close to Shatter. But he keeps getting tagged over and over again by everyone. They then move the pressure from the Rhine, they have him discorded. They move it to the Brig when they can. They had it on Diva, but they basically pressured out the two targets, so like the Brig got low, the Rhine got low. Neither of them were allowed to swing and really get that AoE where Runaway was playing close with their Diva and Rhine. Slime honestly gets a lot of ult charge from just shooting people as well. Runaway played that really well. Runaway, they were just opening with the Widow basically to spot them, but it's pretty smart because T1's not been playing the conventional two tanks. Been playing a lot of solo tank. If you are playing Ana Zen, you can't hold this ground as aggressively. So you hold aggressively with your tanks and you contest on the cart. The problem is when the tanks come back, you need to have correct peel. And I think having Widow Pharah means as soon as the tanks have crossed like this threshold on the cart, so it's like anywhere past here, then they can immediately get on your Zen, and then your Zen and Ana are going to be in permanent peel mode, and the Pharah and the Pharah and the Widow aren't going to be able to peel it like well enough because they just don't do enough burst damage. So it'd have to be the Diva going back. If you have your Diva going back, then the front line is going to be infinitely weaker. So Diva's got a boost back here. You can see it's too late. Bumper trades for the Zen, that's always value. You can see they're then kiting back. The Ana had to kite, Winston, Diva all had to kite back. The Widow then gets soloed out at that point. The Pharah doesn't have any heals anymore, so if you're playing this, the Ana Zen have to play really, really passively. And they have to accept giving up ground because they're going to hold it more aggressively whenever they do have the space to hold it. That was a nano to just give them a bit of space, but I don't know if they needed it. It felt like they had already reset far enough.
호의가 계속되면은 러너웨이 건 줄 알아요, 이런 게.
호의가 계속되면 그대로 그냥 러너웨이가
준비된 멘트인가요?
아니야, 그냥 갑자기 떠올랐습니다. 너무 계속 끌고 가길래 러너웨이가.
I'm T1. I think this comp's okay. They're gonna have difficulty against this Genji though.
명상하고 계세요. 계속 화물을 옵니다. 그렇죠. 여유롭게 윈스턴한테 콩나물 달아주고 화물 밉니다. 그리고 또 명상 잘하시는 분 한 분 계시거든요.
Like, this is a good comp to stop the dive that's been happening from Runaway, but
많이 말렸죠 지금. 공 사이클도 굉장히 안 좋은
It's really hard to have that infight sustain if the Brig isn't able to heal anyone consistently. Like he just keeps getting like hit on by both the DPS from Runaway. Throwing bomb in these situations is also super risky. So Unhappy isn't even in threat of dying, but both Genji, Tracer, and Monkey are on his backline and he's throwing bomb. Like there was the high noon to like technically create space, but it's not the same. You want to be having suit in these situations. Throw the Diva bomb as they're diving and like have it be there to explode while the dive is about to happen, not being dove and then throwing it. You need to throw it like right before they're diving, so it'll have like time to explode like 1 second as they're fighting you, rather than like them landing on you and then self-destructing, because then you just won't have matrix and you won't have a body to block. Armor's gonna get a lot of value. Yeah. In these situations where the backline's getting dove repeatedly, these tanks need to be playing much more aggressively on the front line, trading. Right here, they should not be playing passively, they should be trading, doing damage so that they're getting poked, so that Runaway isn't allowed to dive at full HP because they have Lucio Zen. They're not going to be able to heal as much in the fight. They're allowing the tanks basically to dive at full HP, get a lot of poke work done, and by the time Bumper lands, both supports are going to be low and they're not going to be able to fight as aggressively as they'd want to. I don't think Ana throws nade or he gets armor packed here before he dies. Yeah, the armor pack goes on the Ana. Twilight trances, and it's good for the sustained fight. I think they're just out fragging him at this point. Like, these even fights seem to keep going the way of Runaway, even though they technically shouldn't. Like, Bumper's really low right now. They did good to poke him, but they killed Crystal. Like, Crystal was up here. He should be back here. He's dying alone to Bumper while his supports are like here, here, and here. And Bumper technically just gets like a kill 1v5 with where he's positioned. Gets out, is allowed to heal. They give him time. They throw the self-destruct out so that they're playing very defensively. Silver gets taken down low. And they gave time for Bumper to get on cart to get heals. Twilight had a warp on him. Slime is healing him. Yeah, T1's been holding trance forever as well. I mean, whenever they're in the hallway, especially, they need to like use that trance as soon as they can, and then also put the Brig back to play with him. So have the tanks play forward, like have the Kree stun, have the Brig ready to stun, and like armor pack the Zen, because like he kept dying full HP. When that comp thrives on being able to heal someone from low HP, being able to save them. The Brig's whole job is stun and armor pack the Zen and the Ana who are getting dove over and over again, and he just wasn't able to do that, so